A long time ago, in a small village of the kingdom of Magadh, there lived a poor boy. His clothes were torn. He had no shoes on his feet, and many nights he went to bed hungry. But there was a fire in his eyes, a fire that even mighty kings did not possess. The villagers laughed at him. They would say, "He was born poor, and he will die poor." But every night, the boy would look up at the sky and say only one thing: "One day, I will become so successful that these same people will remember my name." One day, the boy went to the city looking for work. He wandered all day, but no one gave him a job. As evening approached, he arrived outside the mansion of a wealthy merchant. With folded hands, he said, "I need work. I am willing to work hard." The merchant looked at him from head to toe and burst into laughter. "You, what is your worth? People like you were born only to follow orders." The people standing nearby started laughing too. The boy's eyes filled with tears, but he lowered his head and calmly replied, "Today I have no money, but one day, time will change." That night, the boy sat alone in a forest, hungry, tired, and heartbroken. Suddenly, an elderly man appeared. Long hair, sharp eyes, and a face filled with extraordinary peace. It was Acharya Chanakya. He asked the boy, "Why are you crying?" The boy replied, "I am poor, Acharya. People humiliate me." Chanakya smiled. Then he said, "Your poverty is in your pocket, not in your mind. The day a person begins to think big, that is the day his poverty begins to disappear." The boy listened carefully. Every word entered his heart. Chanakya picked up a tiny seed from the ground. Then he asked, "Do you know what is hidden inside this little seed? Thousands of fruits, hundreds of branches, and the strength of a giant tree." Then he continued, "But if this seed becomes afraid, if it refuses to be buried beneath the soil, can it ever become a tree?" The boy softly replied, "No, Acharya." Chanakya nodded. In the same way, every successful person must first be buried beneath the soil of struggle. He must endure humiliation. He must endure loneliness. He must endure hardship. Only then, success is born. From that day onward, the boy changed. He stopped complaining. He woke up before sunrise. He learned new skills. He worked day and night. When his friends were enjoying life, he was working. When others were sleeping, he was chasing his dreams. Slowly, he started a small business. Then another. Then another. Years passed. And one day, that same poor boy became the wealthiest merchant in Magadh. One day, the same merchant, who had once humiliated him, was standing at his door. But this time, there was no pride on his face, only fear. With a trembling voice, he said, "I need your help." The entire palace fell silent. The young merchant looked at him for a few moments. Then he smiled and said, "Time belongs to no one. Yesterday, I was poor. Today, you are." That night, the young merchant looked at the sky once again. But this time, there were no tears in his eyes, only confidence. He finally understood something important. Poverty is not only about money. The greatest poverty is a small mindset. Chanakya used to say, "A man becomes great through his thoughts." If your thinking is small, you can live in a palace and still be poor. But if your thinking is big, you can build an empire from a hut. Remember, if people are laughing at you today, let them laugh. If you have nothing today, do not be afraid. Because before a lion makes a powerful leap, it always takes one step back. Believe in yourself. Keep learning. Keep working hard. And rise so high that one day, your story becomes an inspiration for others. And when that day comes, the same people who doubted you will tell the world how you succeeded. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to Global Bytes.